This is one of the most frequently asked nutrition questions in recent years. The short answer is yes. When applied correctly, a high-protein diet can support the weight loss process. Protein is a macronutrient that keeps you full for longer compared to carbohydrates and fats. Because of this, it helps with appetite control and reduces unnecessary snacking throughout the day. Getting enough protein is especially important during periods of calorie restriction because protein helps preserve muscle mass while losing weight. As a result, a greater portion of the weight lost comes from fat, while muscle loss is kept to a minimum. Another important effect of protein consumption is known as the thermic effect. This means that the body uses more energy to digest protein compared to other macronutrients, which can slightly increase metabolism. However, there is an important point to remember. Weight loss still requires total calorie intake to be lower than the number of calories burned. Protein is not a miracle solution, but when planned correctly, it can make the process significantly easier. So, what exactly is a high-protein diet? A high-protein diet is a dietary approach in which protein intake is increased relative to carbohydrates and fats. It is commonly used to support weight loss, preserve or build muscle mass, and promote longer-lasting fullness. Protein-rich foods generally take longer to digest, which may help keep blood sugar levels more stable. High protein intake supports weight loss through several key mechanisms. First, it extends satiety. Protein-rich foods leave the stomach more slowly, delaying the return of hunger. Second, it supports metabolism. Because more energy is used during protein digestion, total daily calorie expenditure may increase. Third, it preserves muscle mass. Maintaining muscle helps protect basal metabolic rate, which is a major advantage during weight loss. Fourth, it helps control appetite. Protein can suppress the hunger hormone ghrelin and increase satiety hormones, reducing the tendency to overeat. However, there are important factors to consider when following a high-protein diet. Nutrition should always remain balanced. Focusing only on protein is not enough. Vegetables, fruits, fiber sources, and healthy fats must also be included. Adequate water intake is essential, as protein metabolism can place extra demand on the kidneys. Fiber intake should not be neglected. Vegetables, whole grains, and legumes help support digestion. Protein intake should also not be excessive. In general, daily protein needs range from approximately 1.2 to 2.0 grams per kilogram of body weight, depending on physical activity level. So, who may benefit most from a high-protein diet? This approach can be helpful for individuals trying to lose weight by increasing fullness and supporting fat loss. It can also benefit athletes and physically active individuals by supporting muscle recovery and performance. In some people with diabetes, it may help stabilize blood sugar levels, although professional guidance is strongly recommended in such cases. In conclusion, high-protein diets can be a powerful tool to support weight loss, but they are not sufficient on their own. The key is to make the approach personalized, balanced, and sustainable. For long-term weight control and overall health, adopting a mindful and well-balanced eating pattern is the most effective strategy. If you are considering a high-protein diet, consulting a nutrition professional is always the healthiest way to create a plan that suits your individual needs.